So I will call to order the U.S. Trust Executive Board meeting for April 11th, 2023. This is our monthly uh, Zoom call that we have been doing. As first order of business, will call the roll. So this is Randy Bauer, and President, I am present. I do not see Kevin Pryor, our Vice President. Chuck Unruh, Vice President.
Present.
Fun, Secretary.
Here.
Mike Hoffbauer, Member at Large.
Present.
President. David Hayter, Member at Large.
Present.
President. David Day, Member at Large. You're muted, David. We can see David. We just can't hear him. So David Day is present. John Fernandez, do not see John's. So, and Carol Meyer, Executive Director.
Here. And
We
Randy, your mic is cutting out, just so you know.
Bummer.
I am present for the record.
David is present. Is this better?
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's scary to look this closely at me. Okay, so for the record, we have a quorum. The first order of business is, are there any members who have a new conflict of interest? Hearing none. Moving on, the next is the adoption of the April 11th and April 15th and 16th minutes. We had both the meeting in person in St. Louis and then also our regular online meeting. I've reviewed the minutes. I didn't say a thing. Anybody have any questions or comments about the minutes?
I move the adoption of the minutes.
Thank you. It's been
Second.
moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The minutes are approved on a 6-2-0. Oh, John Fernandez has joined us. Hello, John. Did you vote on that?
Hi, Randy. Make it 7-0 for that one.
7-0 for that one. Great. Thank you. The next order of business is a financial report. I will recognize Chuck Unruh, Vice President of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. President. Amazing. That's what I'm going to say about the finances. We have in the last couple of years, of course, came through COVID, and so we expected a slow increase in membership. Well, our budgeting was a little off the mark, and well, a lot off the mark. We had no idea that we'd have such a boom in player membership. So things are going really well. Net worth is increasing. Everything's on track. We're starting to see over on the investment side stabilization of the interest rates. So all things, maybe one negative is that our expenses are going up a little with the revenues, but the revenues outpace the expenses. And so these are good times for US Chess. And as far as the day-to-day operation, I would turn it over to Carol to see if she has any comments on our financials. Carol?
Yeah, a few things that I'll just note. The high school event should be mostly paid for. So the level of funds in our operating accounts have already been reconciled against the high school event. I believe we still have some outstanding invoices from the middle school event, but they are small, maybe $10,000, $12,000. And then of course, we're sitting on funds, registration fees for the upcoming elementary, which is this weekend. We have over 2,000 players registered, and we expect that to continue to inch upward, looking like a pretty typical sized event. So we're very, very pleased that the elementary has bounced back. And yet Chuck is right, our expenses are up. We're fully staffed, which, is part of that. And just overall expenses are up, our events are more expensive. Everything is more expensive. So it's like everything else and everything we do at home, it just costs more. So, but I don't see any red flags at this time. Membership is
So
strong.
overall, Carol, with it,
You broke up there, Mike. What, did you ask a question?
so overall, have the Scholastics seen a profit as opposed to a loss?
So I don't have the overall numbers yet. Ask me that next month once we've, but I think we'll be in the black on our event season this year.
And, I think it's worth noting that the executive board, when we met in St. Louis, gave you the authority to hire another person. And it is with the understanding that as membership grows, as our responsibilities broaden, we need to have people to be able to assist you with advancing our mission and making sure that we're doing things the right way. So I'm not surprised that our operational expenses are going to increase, even if it weren't for inflation. There is a recognition that you all have run a really good operation for a long time. That's been very lean, and we can't expect, particularly you, Carol, to continually do all of the things that you do without getting some help. So we're hopeful that that's going to continue to make your job a little bit easier and help us to advance our mission.
Yeah, thank you for that, Randy.
I would be surprised if the expenses were not increasing.
Yeah.
I mean, it would tell me that what were we doing before? So we've got good efficiency. I look at it and say the revenues and economy of scale will result in a profit from these expenses. They're necessary. So.
Agreed. Any other comments, questions for either Chuck or Carol? Hearing none, I think then that closes, unless there are anything, Carol, do we have anything else for open session at this point?
Not at this time.
Okay, so let's then stop recording and move into closed session. So the executive board has been meeting in closed session for over an hour. We were joined by Kevin Pryor while we were in closed session. There are 5 motions coming out of our closed session. So, Mr. Secretary, would you like to read the first motion?
Yes, Mr. President. Number 1, the executive board moves that suspensions be lifted on all expired member records without a suspended until date.
That was the motion coming out of closed session by the executive board. Is there discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Present? And the motion passes 8-0. Would you read the next motion, Mr. Secretary?
Yes, Mr. President. The U.S. Chess Executive Boards moves to ratify the resignation of GM Alejandro Ramirez from the U.S. Chess Federation as communicated on March the 10th, 2023. Further, the executive board moves to permanently ban GM Ramirez from being a U.S. chess member.
Heard the motion from the executive board. Is there discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Present? The motion is adopted 8-0. Next motion, Mr. Secretary.
Yes, Mr. President. Number 3, effective immediately, any FIDE rated hybrid events registered does not have the endorsement of the National Federation Zonal 2.1 USA to be used as a playing venue.
That is the motion. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Present, the motion passes 8-0. Mr. Secretary, would you read the next motion?
Yes, Mr. President. Number 4, the executive board moves to approve the contract with Hargrove for tables at the 2023 National Elementary.
There's the motion. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Present, motion passes 8-0. Final motion, Mr. Secretary.
Yes, Mr. President. Number 5, the executive board moves to approve the contract with the Courtyard Hotel in Grand Rapids, Michigan for additional hotel rooms for the 2023 US Open.
And this is a situation where we've already filled up our room bank, so that's great. So any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Opposed? President, motion passes 8-0. That dispenses of the motions. Is there other business? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
moved.
moved.
Second,
Second.
moved and seconded. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Are adjourned.
Good night.
Thank you all.
You folks.